It's time for the Newsmaker Show on News Talk AM 1480 WLEA. Here's Kevin Doran.
It's Brian O'Neill in for Kevin Doran on the Newsmaker show today with Hornell Mayor Sean Hogan. I couldn't think of a better guest for today's show with the great news for Hornell. Mayor Hogan, welcome to the show.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Brian, and it is a great day. It's historic day, and this is a economic development news that has historic, is of historic proportions, I should say. I don't think any greater or bigger news has ever occurred in this valley. It was through the onsets of the Erie Railroad in 1851. So. The Alstom news of their being selected for the $2.5 billion high-speed rail contract from Amtrak is just overwhelming and has just bodes very, very well for the region, the state, and the nation because of the nature of the technology and the fact that we're embarking on a new chapter in Hornell history, so we're certainly excited.
Now, Senator Schumer said on Monday that the contract gets signed today, Tuesday, September 22nd, 2015.
Right. Well, I think what the Senator Schumer says is that the board of Amtrak will select Alstom on this day, and then they will work out the details. Certainly, the Alstom has submitted the most competitive price, and the highly ranked as far as technical capability and skill sets of its workforce. So now what they have to do, as the senator said, is dot all the I's and cross all the T's as far as the contract document goes. So an official signing of the contract, that'll be another day for celebration. But the senator was here to tell everyone that it is going to happen and that it will be, closely monitored to make sure it does happen. So the senator certainly has been a friend of Alstom. But, I think we don't want to lose sight of the fact, too, and I want to give credit where credit's due, is that the governor's office and Empire State Development have been intimately involved in this process and been a part of it every inch of the way. So the senator was here, who was a dear friend of mine, and he was very excited about the news and the creation of 750 new jobs, 400 of which will be directly at Alstom, and 350 will be in upstate New York and in Hornell through vendors and suppliers of Alstom's needs for this particular contract. But the governor's office has been most helpful, and I fully expect that the governor will make a swing in here and to see Alstom and also to praise the workforce and the efforts of the Alstom management and working in unison with so many other people to make sure this great day happened. And the state has also committed a significant amount of financial assistance for workforce development and training, also to assist in building of a new factory. So I don't want to downplay the importance of the governor's office and his economic development team in this process.
Yes, I had heard that from other officials like Hornell Industrial Development Agency Director Jim Griffin. He had indicated that the governor had played a big role in this.
No, absolutely. And, like I say, it's nice that Senator Schumer was here and been able to announce the board selecting Alstom. And it's also nice to be in a position where you have state agencies and under the direction of the governor also being so helpful. So it's I don't want to diminish anyone's role in assisting Alstom in getting this But it's important that we do recognize those people who have helped us, and the governor and the senator are certainly tops on that list. But most importantly, it's the quality of the workforce we have here, and their proven track record, and the fact that I think they are capable, and the workforce around here are capable of picking up and understanding this transfer of technologies from Europe into building these high-speed trains, which is totally new technology to this country. That's another major important factor in this war, the contract. But also the impact it's going to have on Alfred State College, Alfred University, RIT, University of Rochester.
Tell us more about that. Why will it affect the colleges in Alfred and Rochester?
They're going to be working in unison, and they'll all be called upon to do some training. And also, they graduate a lot of our industrial and electrical engineers. So certainly you want them all to be partners, particularly Alfred State College and Alfred University, who are so close to our doorstep, and develop a strong partnership with both those institutions. So it will have an impact because there will be a demand for engineers, and there'll demand for training programs, which they can provide. So we're thrilled about that. We're thrilled for them. We're thrilled for us. But what I'm really thrilled about is the potential, what this means for a new generation of workers at Alstom. And what that means, and what the potential means for not only Alstom with this $2.5 billion contract. I mean, $2.5 billion will be spent. Majority of that will be spent in this valley, building those cars, dealing with local suppliers. It's going to have a tremendous ripple effect right straight through every business in Hornell, right straight through the school district, and right straight through our healthcare system. We need a strong school district. We need a strong healthcare system to support what's going to take place here. So, it's just going to have a positive, very positive ripple effect, and the likes of which we have not seen in this community for a number of years.
Senator Schumer noted that this will help Alstom and ATM and Transit Air, as well as companies in places like Wellsville. ATM and Transit Air, how will they benefit from this, Sean?
Well, they are sub-suppliers to Alstom now. And they could very well be sub-suppliers supplying parts and components, whether it be wire harnesses or things of that nature for these cars. But because this new technology involves training. And that's why, through the Industrial Development Agency, and Jim Griffin talks about this Transit Center of Excellence. We've applied for money through the Upstate Revitalization Initiative, which is that $1.5 billion pool of money that the 7 upstate economic development regions will be competing for. And we've applied for up to $85,000 to help us start that Center of Excellence, make it a training and engineering center at the SKF building, and also will be a manufacturing center because Alstom is in the process of reopening that factory, the old SKF factory, and doing some work there and having some training programs. And we hope to be able to participate in that and really do a first-class center of excellence and have top-notch high-tech training facilities and learning laboratories right there on site, which will certainly help. Plus, the state realizes, and we had a conversation last week with the state about, we have to be able to create a quality of life around here in Hornell that will be able to sustain the workforce, having people who come here and want to stay and work. So they, certainly young people, young engineers are looking for a certain quality of life, social activities and activities that would enhance our community. Number one on the list is quality housing. and we certainly have an opportunity here now for those developers or those so inclined to make some investments into quality housing stock right here in Hornell. They have an ability now that to get a return on their investment, as evidenced by the Federation Loft that in May had 9 luxury apartments. Now they're all full, and that's before this announcement. So there's a lot to do yet. There's a lot of dots, the I's to dot and T's to cross, but it's an exciting time, and it's going to be a very busy time. And people shouldn't expect to see immediate results, because once the contract is awarded, once it is awarded officially, there's a ramp-up period, certainly, engineering and whatever. So the first ones will be hired will be engineers and contract administrators, and then manufacturing and blue-collar workers, but they have to be trained. So it'll be a slow ramp-up over the next year, 2 years, and then into full production, and it's a 6 to 10-year contract. So, like I say, I'm thrilled. The whole area should be thrilled, and we had many partners. Senator Schumer, who has been a big fan of Alstom from day one. The governor and his Empire State Development staff were instrumental in providing the necessary financial assistance and support, and able to support a good bid on this proposal. So, but like I say, the credit goes to Alstom executives, Jerome Wallout, Vincent Lacotte, and others who have a strong belief in the Hornell region and the Hornell workforce. I mean, they could have selected anywhere else to do this. They selected Hornell, New York, and they did that for a reason. They have a strong affinity for the community in the region, but they know the workforce is quality. So it's just a great day, Brian, great day.
Absolutely. Mayor Hogan, you talked about earlier in the interview all of the different positive ripple effects this will have, and you mentioned health care in the area. What do you think the direct effect of this will be on St. James Hospital and what they're now calling the Independent St. James?
Well, one of the things I used when I was fighting for the hospital's existence and fighting for inpatient care, saying, how can you expect a French company to come here and is going to invest upwards of $150 million in our community if they're successful in getting this high-speed rail contract, and they're going to attract hundreds of new employees to our region, and you can't tell them we have a hospital. So I think that was one of the key arguments that was made, and one of the key arguments that the state heard, and one of the key arguments that the University of Rochester heard, and saying, that's true. Hornell was the only community in this region that's showing growth and showing positive growth, and so we use that as an argument, and now we have a hospital that's operating efficiently, and it's in partnership with the University of Rochester. You have inpatient capacity of 15 beds, and they're busy at the hospital, and so it only bodes well. I mean, economic growth will really kind of promote economic growth. So if you have growth in one area and people see positive things, it's just going to have a nice ripple effect. So this goes to support my argument to the powers that be in Albany and the University of Rochester that we are showing growth, and it wasn't just a plan on a paper. Now it's coming to fruition. So it's a huge thing. So it will not only help with health care and its future and the planning for the future existence of health care and what's going to be offered here, but also our school district. There are many new students at our schools coming in. The enrollment's growing, and a lot of them are French children who are entering our school district for the first time. Very positive. All of it's all positive. So hopefully, one of the things I've fought for and I've fought against for 30 years in office is negativity. And hopefully, people who always want to see dark clouds will start seeing some silver lining in those clouds, and understanding that there is a lot of good things happening here in Hornell and our region, and it bodes well for everyone's future. Success breeds success. So we hope that positive waves will go out there. And for all the negative people out there, hopefully they'll see finally that there is a lot of positive going on, and a positive in a lot of different ways and a lot of different lives. Like I say, I've said before on your show, I'm a very positive person, and I don't think negativity is an unhealthy part of anyone's life, and we have to move that negativity out and replace it with positive things like today's news.
We're talking with Hornell Mayor Sean Hogan, who's as happy as can be with the news that Alstom got a $2.5 billion contract that will lead to, they believe, 400 jobs for the Hornell Alstom facility and another 350 or more across the region. We're talking with Mayor Sean Hogan. We'll continue our conversation about Alstom right after this. Back on the Newsmaker Show, I'm Brian O'Neill. Today we're talking about the big news from yesterday morning, that when U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer stopped into the Alstom facility to announce a $2.5 billion, I believe it was Jason Jordan that asked the question, it would be a 6-year contract. One person at Alstom said he thought it might even last 10 years. Mayor Hogan, this is going to lead to hundreds of jobs. Okay. We talked in the last segment about the positive effects this will have on St. James Hospital and the positive effects that this would have on businesses like Transit Air and ATM. What about other businesses? Let's say you own a restaurant in Hornell, any kind of business. What do you think this will do for those?
I think the restaurants, that have been benefiting already about the resurgence of Alstom. The restaurants locally have been doing that. And if they haven't been experiencing a resurgence, I think that's something that they have to work at and look at. There's a potential market here. I can't advertise a market for all businesses, but I'm telling you, this is you have to be proactive, and like I said, success breeds success. There's a lot of business owners out there that are taking advantage of the resurgence of Alstom. In the last several years, in 2012 they had like 25 employees down there. 2015 they have over 500. So there has been a tremendous economic surge from Alstom in the last several years, and that's going to continue and double in its magnitude over the next several years. So that's the issue. If people out there, a business person would think of ways to take advantage of that growth, and they have this opportunity. We have a growing economy, not a shrinking economy. So people have. I'm not an entrepreneur, but I like to think I know a little about business and economic development. And now's the time for young entrepreneurs to step up. If you ever thought you wanted to go in business, and to find a need and fill it. And there's a great opportunity here. And as I speak to you now, I bet you there's people out there. Once this news spreads throughout Western New York and the Southern Tier, there'll be people from outside the community looking at this community to do something of economic development nature, because they'll want to take advantage of what's going to happen here. So it's all positive, and I think this sets the stage for many things. I think it's going to help existing businesses, and it may help generate new businesses.
I can only imagine that the wheels are spinning now in the mind of one Shelley Stevens at Hornell Partners for Growth. I can only imagine that HPG is going to really, really work hard to come up with all kinds of promotional ideas for this, good promotional ideas that will help promote the local economy, and maybe even tie it in with, as you mentioned, Jim Griffin's idea for a rail center for excellence. The possibilities seem endless.
No, yeah, and it's like I say, it's all good news. I mean, it's a lot of I brought up a number of years ago to HPG with some of our vacancies downtown. I said we ought to talk to the business owners or the building owners, and we ought to pull it together as HPG and as the community development office, and go seek entrepreneurs and give them an incentive, and call it race for the space. We've got space, and there's a race for it, and that says come and give Hornell a look-see. Take a look about what type of business you think might work here, or something that we don't have that you could provide. So I think there's a whole plethora of possibilities out there that would of a positive nature that could help stimulate business locally.
Wanted to ask one final question here. Senator Schumer, I'm reading from his press release here that was handed out yesterday morning by Senator Schumer's press people. It said, Schumer said the need for better trains along the NEC Northeastern Corridor is needed now more than ever. In 2014, the Acela service saw 28 days where daily trips exceeded 14,000 passengers, compared to just 5 days like that in 2013. This comes as the Northeast Corridor generated nearly $500 million in profits last year, the highest ever. And Schumer says that procuring new trains made by manufacturers like Alstom would really meet Amtrak's increased passenger load. Mayor Hogan, question. You say success breeds success. When word gets around on how nice the trains are that are made in Hornell on the Amtrak rail, you think that'll get around and continue to, an upward effect where things go really well?
Absolutely. If things go really well, and Alstom makes a name for themselves in the North America high-speed train market, just look at California. They have a corridor that runs the whole length of California, and they're looking to do high-speed trains. There are sections in the Midwest. I mean, basically, as a nation, we should have a reliable high-speed rail system as they do in Europe and other countries in this world, and they spend the money necessary to develop that type of infrastructure. Hopefully, this is a dawning of a new day, and that we can get some people in Congress to understand the importance of this type of thing and the importance of Amtrak. But one thing that was not, you talk about Northeast Corridor, and it's a profitable run for Amtrak, and it's 14,000 passengers a day. These new trains will triple that capacity. These new trains will allow to carry up to 30,000 people per day and more when these new trains are fully operational. So that will only add to the desirability of Amtrak as a transportation alternative, and it will also enhance their profit margin. So it's, like I say, it's a good day all around.
Hornell Mayor Sean Huggins has been our guest this morning. Was there anything I didn't bring up related to this Alstom, major Alstom news from yesterday? Was there anything I didn't bring up that you'd like to point out, Mayor Hogan?
No. I'm just saying there's so many highlights. We're both so excited about it. But it's nothing but good. Nothing but good. And like I say, it's all positive. And as time goes on, we'll see how this plays out. But I think it's an opportunity for everybody, and for anyone who's interested, and anybody that has an idea. This is a time. This is an exciting time, and as this thing unfolds, we'll see the economic impact as it ripples through Hornell and the region and the southern tier and the state. It'll all be great. And I sound like Donald Trump now, don't I? But no.
Mayor Sean Hogan, great having you on.
All right.